In this QDS training video, you will learn how to add a skip element and skip to a marker. Often in your survey design, you will need to build in conditional skip patterns so that given certain responses, the user can skip over one or more later questions in the survey. In this example, we have a lead-in question regarding cigarette use. Have you ever smoked a cigarette? This has a yes/no response type. And then on the Response Set tab, you can see that the special code values of Don't Know and Refused are enabled. When planning skips for your survey, you should always take into consideration what special codes are allowable. Following this lead-in question, we have two additional items about using cigarettes that would not apply if the response to the lead-in question was not equal to yes. This is a case where we will want to add in a skip element. For this example, we will want to skip over the questions, how old were you the first time you smoked a cigarette, and during the past 7 days, how many cigarettes did you smoke? Select the line where you would like for the skip pattern to begin, and then select the Skip Instruction button on the Insert toolbar. You will see the Skip Element tab with an if box. This is where you will enter in your skip condition. In this example, we will want to skip if the leading question was not equal to yes. So we can enter if cigarette was equal to 0 or refused or don't know. This will tell QDS to skip if the lead-in cigarette question was those responses. Notice that you will always use variable names and numeric response codes in your statements. To refer to special codes, you can use the following. For don't know, you would use .dk. For refuse to answer, .ref. For not applicable, .na. For skipped, .sk. And for true missing, just a single dot. Generally, that would only be applicable in data entry module. We could also enter cigarette not equal to 1. This will tell QDS to skip if the lead-in cigarette question was not equal to yes or 1. Note that we use the caret symbol for not. Either one of these statements will work for this skip pattern. Then we need to tell QDS how many items we need to skip over for this condition. In the Branch To box, select the number of elements to skip over, from 1 to 5 elements. Note that there is also an option to skip to a marker. We'll talk about that next. For this example, we will select to skip over 2 elements for the next 2 questions. However, note that every element except for comments will count, not just data elements. You can generally leave the other options at their default settings. After you select OK, you will see the skip element in your listing. Note that the skip element is orange. In some cases, you will need to skip over more than 5 elements, or you may anticipate that the number of elements to be skipped may change during the course of survey development. In these cases, you will need to skip to a marker. For our example, we have now added more questions about cigarette smoking that will need to be skipped when our leading question was not equal to 1 or yes. Since this is more than 5 elements, we will need to change the skip to a marker destination. To add your marker element, select the Marker button on the Insert toolbar, and this will open your marker box. Enter the name for this destination. Note that this is only for your internal use, so use something that will make sense in context. For this example, we will enter M_end TOB to indicate that this is the end of our tobacco section. If you like, you can also enter a description in that box. This is optional and only for internal use. After you click OK, you will see the marker in your element listing, and that will be the destination for this skip. Note that the marker element is colored aqua. Next, we'll need to change the destination for our skip element. Double-click on the skip element in your listing, and the Branch To box will change the option to marker, and this will open up the marker box. Then you can enter the name of your marker. Again, this is where it's helpful to use a name that makes sense to you. And then after you click OK, you'll see the updated skip element in your listing. Finally, be sure to build and test your survey frequently during development to make sure that all skips are working as you intended. To learn how to add additional types of questions, responses, or skips, see QDS Online Help or other Design Studio videos.